In addition to the immense grief, there's growing anger over the police response in Uvalde.
19 students and 2 teachers were killed in that shooting, all of them inside the same 4th grade classroom when the gunman barricaded himself inside. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor is here now with an update on the timeline investigators revealed today. Alice?
At a contentious news conference, authorities said nearly 20 officers were gathered in a hallway for about 45 minutes before using a key to open a door and confront the gunman. That's because a commander at the scene thought it was a barricade situation and that the children were not at risk. The Texas director of public safety there says, quote, "It was the wrong decision."
9-year-old Andrea Herrera saw her teacher get shot.
We all went under a table. My teacher was closing the blinds, and that's whenever she got shot.
As this happened, she thought about her brother, Jose Flores, in a nearby classroom.
I was just worried thinking about him.
Andrea says police broke into her classroom and led them out.
The only class that wasn't there was his class.
Her teacher survived. Jose was among those killed. Anger continues to grow over that police response, many wondering why they didn't breach the classroom door sooner.
It was a wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that.
The Texas director of public safety went through the timeline today. At 11:27 a.m., a door was propped open by a teacher. A minute later, the suspect's vehicle crashed into a ditch. 2 people at a funeral home who heard the crash went to the scene, and the gunman began firing at them. At 11:30, a 911 call was made about a man with a gun. The school resource officer was not on campus, but drove back after that call.
Sped to what he thought was the man with a gun to the back of the school, what turned out to be a teacher and not the suspect. In doing so, he drove right by the suspect, who was hunkered down behind a vehicle, where he began shooting.
The gunman entered the school. 3 officers went to the door and received graze wounds while the door was closed. Children repeatedly called 911 from inside Robb Elementary School.
At approximately 12:43 and 12:47, she asked 911 to please send the police now.
As many as 19 officers were in the hallway for more than 45 minutes. He says an on-scene commander at the time believed it had transitioned from an active shooter to a barricaded subject.
A decision was made that this was a barricaded subject situation. There was time to retrieve the keys and wait for a tactical team with the equipment to go ahead and breach the door and take on the subject at that point.
The 18-year-old gunman was shot and killed by officers. For children hiding, it felt like hours before being taken to safety. 10-year-old Jaden Perez said an officer helped him and his classmates escape through a window, but not before the shooter had killed his friends.
McKenna, Tess, Annabelle, basically almost some of them.
Still so many questions. They could not yet answer where that school resource officer was. Authorities say the gunman had purchased nearly 2,000 rounds of ammunition and had fired more than 100 at the school. They are still working on the why. We've also learned an anonymous donor has paid for all victims' funerals. Dick and Jessica?
All right, Alice, thanks very much.